Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the second video I'm making for the channel, and this video is going to help so many people. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I kept 100% win rate on GER30 in 2026. So in 2026, I haven't lost even one trade on German 30, and I did this using a very simple trend line strategy. So that's what I'm going to be breaking down for you guys. So please stay tuned, like and comment, and you can also share. Thank you guys. So this is German 30 futures. So as you can see, I've taken one, two, three, four, five trades in 2026 on German 30, and on all these trades I hit TP. Price went straight to my TP, and I did this using a very simple trendline strategy. I think this is the most prolific trendline strategy one can get. It works so well that even a child can learn this. It's very simple. I can teach a child how to use this strategy in 5 minutes. So let's go. First off, as I said in my last video, anytime I'm about to analyze the market on any pair, I first of all go to the higher time frame to see the direction of the market. So today I'm taking you straight into the daily time frame. Boom. So this is the daily time frame. So as you can see, this was the major direction of German 30 before it broke out. It was bearish, bullish. It wasn't having a clear bias. As you can see, I'm talking about this area. Come on, this area. German 30 wasn't having a clear bias. It was bullish and bearish. But I had some trades there. But that's not what we are here for. So it was creating higher highs and higher lows. So when I checked the overall, this is the weekly time frame. When I checked the overall bias of German 30, I mean for the past months or even years, I realized that German 30 has been bullish. It's a pair that always moves up, even though there are times that it will be bearish temporarily. But German 30 is a pair that has been bullish for the past forever. As you can see, German 30 has been very bullish. So when it was making these lows, I knew it was eventually gonna buy. Like I knew it. I knew it was eventually gonna buy. That's why sometimes it's very good to check the higher time frames before you trade. The higher time frames basically tells you where the market is heading to in the long term. So this was me in the weekly time frame. So I drew this trend line. I drew this trend line. And for a trend line to be valid, I think it should touch at least three swing highs or swing lows. So this was my trend line. This was the first swing high E, B, C, and this was the third. And when I drew this trend line, I was just waiting for price to break this trend line, retest it, then I will start buying because I already know that the market is a very bullish market. I mean, German 30 is a very bullish pair. So when price broke this trend line, I'm talking about this trend line, I already knew that I had to switch my bias completely to bullish. Like in my mind, I'm going to be buying, even though I'll not just randomly buy or just buy anyhow, but I know that I should be looking for buys. So when price broke this, let's move to the higher time frame. This is the 4 hour time frame. This is the 4 hour time frame, right? So as you can see, I already had some good trades on German 30. Frankly speaking, I've been very good on this pair. This pair has been giving me back-to-back TPs. These are my previous trades, but I'm not talking about them now. So when price broke the trend line, this was the break. So I immediately knew that we are going to have a very aggressive move in on the pair. I immediately knew we were going to have a very aggressive move. So this was me in the lower time frame. Let me see if I can head back there so that you can see how I took that trade. Yeah, this is the trade right here. This is the trade. Here's the trade. So I combine what's the name trend lines with supply and demand levels to get my entries. You get I combine trend lines with supply and demand levels to get my entries. So when price broke the trend line, this was the break. This is where it broke. You see, it broke out and it went this high. And as I said, anytime price breaks a trend line, you should be expecting a retest. Don't just buy based off of buying. You just want to buy. When you buy, price will retest on you and you probably hit SL. So this was the retest. And one thing people don't realize is that when price is retesting a trend line, it's not always that it will retest on the exact spot. There are no perfections in this market. So price didn't retest on the exact spot, but I knew that this was a low that price wouldn't break. I mean this low. This was a low that price wouldn't break. And we could even consider this level as a demand level. So I was expecting price to come and tap into this level or just retest the trend line completely. Then I'll take the buy. But unfortunately it didn't. So this was how I took the trade. When price came back here, I'm going into the lower time frame again. I'm going lower now. 15 minutes. I don't know if you can track this. Sometimes it's very difficult. So here's the trade. Here's the trade. Here's the trade. So when price made this retest to this level, you can see the line here. That's the demarcation of this low. And even though this was the lower, the place I wanted to take the trade, but when it got here, how aggressively price moved, it moved down. And anytime price moves down that aggressively, there is a very high chance that when it's moving back up, it is also going to be very aggressive. When it moved back down, I immediately saw a reaction. You can see this candlestick. I immediately saw a reaction. So this was the reaction, this candlestick. I knew that price will potentially reverse. So you see, when it made that huge move, it started consolidating. So I don't know if I can move back to the 1 minute to be very hard. So in the 1 minute, what basically happened is, let me illustrate it here. Coming. So this is what happened in the 1 minute, and this are how I get my entries. Let's see, we see this. I hope you can see I'm making a very small illustration here. This, this, and this. Boom. I'm taking my entry. So I'll go to the these are how I get my entries. I'll go to the 1 minute, draw a trend line. So you see, this is the trend line. So when price is making higher highs, higher lows, sorry, when price is making higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows. Sorry, I'm very sorry. It's not easy. It's not easy, but let's go. When price is making higher, lower highs, yes, lower highs. I got it right this time. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. You see that price made a low that didn't take out the last low. Just immediately you know that structure is about to change. I'm talking about in the lower time frame. So price broke this trend line and retested it in the lower time frame. So as you can see, the trend has started changing in the lower time frame. So immediately I see this, with all I've already spoken about here, the retest in the higher time frame, I'll just take the trade because I know that the trend is changing in the higher time frame. Idibab, because for a downtrend to be valid, there should be constant lower highs and lower lows. So here we weren't able to get a lower low. You get, so that means the structure was about to change. The structure changed. So that was how I got into the trade. So that was just it. But let's get back to the trades, the winning streak. Let's go. So this was how I took this trade. And as you can see, we had a little pullback and boom, price went straight to my TV. So this was the first trade I took on GER30 in 2026. So this was my second trade. And as you can see, the main focus of this video is to show you how I got all these trades based off this one trend line. So as I said earlier, GER30 is a very bullish pair. So when it broke out, I immediately drew this trend line. After price got here, I immediately drew this trend line. And as I said earlier, for a trend line to be valid, it should have at least three touch points. And this was a touch, there was a touch point here, but I didn't just want to draw it. There's a touch point here, and even if I go lower, you see more touch points. I didn't want to make my chart messy. So I started drawing the trend line from here. And this could even be a touch point. You see, this could be a touch point. So this was the first touch point. So this is how I got the second trade. I used basically the same ideology to get the second trade because I knew that the price was bullish. Anytime price is making lower lows or price is has switched to bearish temporarily, I'll begin to look for entries to buy because as I said earlier, I've already checked the higher time frames. The higher time frames have given me a very bullish trend or a very bullish bias. So anytime I see price switching bearish, I'm talking about this area. This is how I got the second trade. Anytime I see price switching bearish, I'll just put a trend line, then I'll be looking for a breakout so that I can hop on the trade because I already know is the trend is bullish. So this second trade, this is how I got it. Sorry, I'm coming. So this is how I got the second trade. As you can see, price switched bearish. Back. You can see. You can see the lows. Let me start from here. You can see the lows. It started creating lows. So immediately I see this, I just know that it's not gonna sell for long. It's not gonna sell for long. And also, I love to use market structure. Market structure is very important. When price started selling temporarily, you can see that price didn't take out any of these levels. It didn't even get close to taking out of those levels. And also, this is a resistance level. This is a resistance level, as you can see. And price couldn't take out that resistance level. So the main focus is trend lines for now. So let me show you how I got this entry. Very, very simple. Exactly. So this is how I got this entry. So knowing that my trend is bullish overall and price has just switched to bearish temporary, I'll just draw my trend line. As you can see, very, very easy peasy. So this was how I got the trade. Price broke a trend line, as I said earlier, in the high time frame. So this is what I was talking about. You see that price wasn't able to take out this low. As you can see, please watch the cursor. Price wasn't able to take out this low. Let me use my trend line here. Price wasn't able to take out this low. So anytime you see that price is unable to take out a particular swing low, just know that the structure is about to change or the bias is about to change. So price wasn't able to take out this low and it made a new high. It broke this high. It broke this high. And that was exactly when it broke and retested the trend line in the lower time frame. So boom, I already knew that the bias was going to switch from bearish to bullish. I took my entry and I set my SL. Then we hit TP straight forward, and that was the former all-time high. That was the former all-time high. So that was where I placed my TP because price has a very high tendency of reversing at all-time highs. It's not always that price will get to all-time highs and break. So I placed my TP here, as you can see, and we hit TP straight forward. That was a very good trade though. So let's get back. Let's get back to the third trade. So you can see the pattern. You can see the pattern. So price is very, very, very bullish. You can see the pattern. And I'm just following the trend. The trend is always your best friend. So this is the third trade, and this was how I took the third trade. So to make this clear, when you're trading trend lines or even trading any strategy, as I said earlier, there are no perfections in this market. Let's say your mentor teaches you something. Let's say he teaches you trend lines. Let me draw this, and you see something. Let's say your mentor teaches you this. Bah. Let's say he teaches you this. Now this is how the trend moves, right? And he teaches you that this is how trend lines behave. When you come into the market, don't expect to see a perfect trend line like this. It's not possible. There are times that you occasionally see those kind of trend lines that are near perfection, but it's not always that you see a very perfect trend line. So when you're trading, just keep it in mind that there are no perfections in this market, because it's human beings that are trading this market, and our human behaviors are very, very complex. Our behaviors are what shape the market, or the actions we take is that which shape the market. So this was how I took the third trade, and this was the all-time high. So that was just an extra confluence. Price broke the all-time high and made a pullback. And remember what I said in my gold video. You see, when price broke the all-time high, it made a pullback. I could have taken the trade here, but I don't even think it aligned with my session. So when I came, the price was here. This was where I met price. So I'm to talk about how I caught this the third trade. Sorry. I hope you guys are getting me. I hope this video is clear. And if it isn't clear, you can comment in the comment section so that I'll work on that next time, or I'll make another video, or I can even reply you in the comment section. So as you can see, the same ideology, but this time I added something little. So I saw a weak demand level in the lower time frame, and as I said, anytime price is switching bearish, know that it's temporal, because the higher time frame has already told you that the market is bullish. So anytime you see that price is switching bearish, just bear in mind that price is trying to grab liquidity and move in its original direction. So when price switched bearish this time, I saw this demand level, then I drew it. I was expecting price to come and tap into the demand level, so I'll just buy. But when it got here, I was a bit unsure. I didn't want to buy because price could potentially move back to the all-time high, the former all-time high, or even the trend line. So I was a bit unsure. So guess what? What did I do? I expected to just get the answer based off of looking at where I took the trade. So I used the same ideology, drawing a trend line in the lower time frame and waiting for a break of structure or the break of the trend line. Sometimes it's very difficult to look for a trees. Very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. But I'll do that for you guys. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Sorry for the delay here. So here is the trade. So as you can see, the same ideology. The same ideology. So I drew a trend line here in the lower time frame. And as you can see, price broke the trend line, retested. That was in the lower time frame. I'm sure I did it in the 1 minute, but if I take this to the 1 minute, it will be very, very hard. If I'm to take this to the 1 minute, it will be very, very hard to find this trade. So because I was unsure, sometimes I do take trades off if my confidence is very high. I do take the trades straight off the demand levels I draw. But this time my confidence wasn't that high and I wanted extra confirmations, extra confluences. So I drew this trend line. And as I said earlier, the same ideology. It came, this low wasn't able to take out this low. So you just know that the trend is about to change. It broke the trend line, we tested it, and we took the trade. And this was even another retest.